HoneyBellz here. Today we're going to be learning how to rig a 2D model in Live2D Cubism. This is going to be the first of many tutorials which will teach you everything you need to know about getting your model up and ready for streaming and recording. I assume at this point you already have your model art done, and if you do not have it done and want a tutorial for setting up and drawing a Vtuber model, let me know down in the comments and I will look into doing one. This tutorial is strictly after you already have the model art done, properly set up. This tutorial will also be teaching you all the essentials you have to do before you do any of the rigging. Alright, so you first launch this program. This just should be how it looks. The first thing you want to do is go to your files and grab your PSD file. Vtuber models have to be saved as PSD, otherwise it will not work. And what you do, you will drag it in. It will be loading up the PSD. Right here, this right here is important. If your model is rather big, I suggest going with the recommended. This is just the preview. This doesn't affect the model itself. It just makes it where the preview of the model isn't as high quality as like the drawing is. Because if it is, it can create lag. Like my models are huge and I tend to draw them on like an 8000 by 8000 canvas, which means they can be really, really laggy to preview when you are rigging. But I'll do what it's recommended to me. If your model is smaller, you don't have to worry about such things. It should be fine. I don't know if your model looks anything like mine when you first turn it on, but all your emotes should be active, so your character should look like it's having a panic attack, which is great, you know? Nothing like a panic attack to start off rigging. So first things first, over here on the left side, this shows every single part of your model. What the very first thing you want to do is you want to click on a thing and change its draw order. Draw order is basically, it tells the rig what layers should be drawn on top of each other. So see how the tail's kind of behind everything? If I move it up just by one, it is now previewing above everything. So what I normally do is I go ahead and start over on 0, just because, you know, it's a flat number and it's a good number to start off with. And then I go by everything and slowly turn it up. I want to turn off the emotes just so it's just easier to preview. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just start at 0 on the draw order and just turn them up one by one. The hair tuft at the top, which you currently can't see, this is going to be 1. The back of the hair, this is going to be 2. So on and so forth. And for things that are like the exact same, like this piece of hair over here, and this piece of hair over here, like the exact same piece of hair, you can have these on the same, like, one, so these both can be 3. So on and so forth. I'm gonna go ahead and speed this process up so you don't have to watch me type numbers for every single one of these, because this is really boring. Nobody said rigging's gonna be fun. Alright, at this point you should be done. It took forever. My draw order is at 106. Yours may be more, maybe less, nothing wrong with that. The reason why mine had so many was because I individually separated each one of these highlights and eyelashes along with each one of these boba balls, so mine's pretty high just because of that. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to separate these into folders, so it's just easier to like navigate, you know? I call them folders, but they're technically not folders. They're technically deformers. You'll see them up here. These are like the weird netting thing. So what you want to do is like scroll down to where one of your eyes is and copy everything from that one eye. So I'm gonna do the entirety of the left eye, and I'm going to copy everything. Or not copy, I'm going to shift click everything on the left. So here we go, I have the entirety of the left eye right here. And we're going to click this little netting button and we're going to create a deformer. We're going to leave it and call it eye left. If you notice, the entirety of the eye just went into that folder. It just makes it so much easier to stay organized. And this is going to be very important anyway. Deformers are like the base of rigging. You use them for basically everything at this point. But for now, we're just going to use them for organization. So just go through here and organize everything into nice big parts. Like I'm going to do all the eyes. We're going to put all of the eyes in one. So eye left and eye right. We're going to create a big folder for both of those. And then we're going to come over here. We're going to grab the entirety of all of the hair. Just grab all of it. The hair back, the little tuft. We are going to grab all of it, including the bald cap. Very important to grab the bald cap. Also, if your model doesn't have a bald cap, I actually really heavily recommend it. It's just really good to make sure nothing of your hair shows. Oh, see, this is why you move it. I left some tendrils. Where are they? Where are these pieces of hair? There you little guys are. You can also, instead of having to scroll up and try and drag them into, like, say over here, you can go to Deformer and click on the deformer you're wanting to put that piece of, like, hair into or the eye into. Makes it easier when your model list gets really, really long. Like, my model has so many layers. My My draw order ended up at being 300, I'm pretty sure, because literally everything on my model was separated. I don't recommend you do what I did for my model, but if you end up doing it, it's not bad. It's just it's very hard to do. So don't make your first model too detailed. That is something I heavily recommend. I'm also going to put all of the emotes into one folder just for easy access. So the emotes are things like your tongue sticking out, anger, tears. That's what those are. I put tongue in there because it's something that's like not a default parameter. I'll tell you more about parameters in the future. For now, don't really worry about it. For now, just focus on organization. Okay, so I'm gonna put the entirety of this leg together. This is going to be right leg or leg R. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing for the other leg, leg L. It's gonna be the left leg. If you look how much more easier it is already to get navigating. It's just much cleaner, honestly. I heavily recommend it. I'm gonna do the entirety of the left arm now. Now we're gonna put all the right arm together. And here we go. That is the entirety of the right arm. If I'm correct, I didn't miss anything. I did not. Now we're going to do the chest. This is going to have the skin part. And we're also going to pop in here. So there we go, the top. So the entirety of the chest should be over here. Yep, that looks good. I will, however, add the flowers because I feel like it will just look best with it in there. You know, just the entirety of this top part of the chest. There we go. Now we're going to do the belly, which will include the bottom of the skirt. And that is going to be called belly. You can name these anything you want. I try and, like, most of the time I end up naming them goofy things. Like, for the tongue, I end up naming it blep half the time, just because blep. But you can name these anything you want, whichever will be easiest for you to organize. The name of it doesn't actually matter. Feel free to name it whatever the hell you want. People may be like, oh, you have to name it this. It doesn't matter. It's just really organization at this point. You can name it anything. Alright, so I'm gonna do the entirety of the mouth together, mainly because the mouth is like a huge chunk of things. And it's never a fun thing to, you know, do. So now we're gonna do what I call the face. So the face is very important. This one, do name the face. It'll just be easier. And we'll actually want to put these other like folders we put into the face. So we're gonna put the mouth in, the eyes, the emotes, because all of our emotes are on the face. If not, you want to separate those for like face emotes and non-face emotes. The hair would also go into the face. And also this clip, that's her little hair clip, would go in there. Now we're gonna do the skirt. It's gonna contain both of the skirts. The neck doesn't really need to. You can also separate it even more to be like body, and you can put everything into there. Put body into here, so all the body parts are in here. So we're actually gonna put the neck actually into face, and then make another that did not go into face. Okay, so now if you notice, you have these weird yeah, it's not your model didn't originally look like this in the art file. So why does it look like this, you may be asking? Well, what you want to apply is a clipping ID. So the bald cap is normally clipped to the face. So what you want to do is go to face color, like the coloring of your face. And what you want to do is grab this little thing called ID, copy it, go over to whatever you're wanting to clip it to. Like say you want to clip this to the face. What you want to do is paste it under clipping ID and click enter. Remember to click enter or else it won't work. We're gonna go ahead and paste that clipping ID in. Remember to click enter, and there you go. It should be cropped like that. If you notice there's like this big old circle thing, that is your face shadow. I have it too low. It needs to be, see, this is why it's important, because I need to actually increase its layer, because I need it to actually go over the mouth, you know? And what we're going to do is also clip this to the face, and there we go. It should have solved most of your issues right there. If you notice, like, there's like a little line here, you could always just like raise something to cover it up if you want. Like I probably will just extend these because it doesn't look that bad and it was supposed to do that anyway. You'll remember at this point you probably want to save it unless you want to type everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a new folder. And this is a model I'm doing as a commission for Kelly, Boba Jelly VT. You guys should definitely check her out. And I'm just gonna go ahead and save it because, you know, I think I will cry if I end up losing it, you know? I don't want to have to type all of those numbers again. It's not fun. I don't recommend, you know? So you want to check to see if anything like obvious needs to be clipped. So what you want to do is turn the opacity of the inside of your mouth right back up and grab the mouth back ID. You want to grab that and clip the tongue to it, the bottom teeth, the top teeth, and then what you want to do is you're actually going to want to like just slowly bring this in. Because the mouth is closed, we don't need it to be that large. So we can just bring it in, and there you go. Just made it smaller, and it actually doesn't change the perspective. Like if I turn off the lips, it doesn't... Let me, one second, turn off the lips. It actually doesn't move the tongue or anything. So you can just change this all you want and everything else in the mouth will stay still. It's really convenient and nice. And there you go, you got it covered. Alright, and then we'll also want to do the same for the eyes. So for the eyes, you don't have to worry about lashes. Honestly, I'm going to put these also in a folder. Call them like bottom lashes. That's bottom lashes, top lashes. This is all just for organization, and you'll thank me later in the future when you have like so many things. And then I'm also gonna put highlight. So what you want to do is grab the eye white, the whites of the eye. So this little thing right here, we are going to be clipping all of the eye onto it. So go to the eye inside, paste it here, got it? Oh, I didn't. You gotta copy the ID. Remember the ID, not the name, the ID. I always get those confused. You want to clip that and the eye shine. I don't know if you have eye shine, but if you don't, it's fine. Then we're gonna make another deformer with just the pupil into it. Like the... what is that called? Not the... Is it the iris? I don't really know what you call it. The eye. So this is what we're going to be moving for the eye. You can also go ahead and paste the highlights in here so it also moves with the eye. So that's how we're going to make the eye look left and right. You also want to clip the highlights into it. So they also, you know, they don't do what we saw right here, which is just off, just out of the area. We don't want that to happen. So you want to clip those also. If you want to clip a lot of things at once, you can just select them with shift and just paste it here. And now they're all clipped, and now whenever, say, the character looks right, it no longer goes outside the eye. I hope that makes sense, but yeah. Now we're gonna do the exact same thing for the right eye. There we go. Now both eyes are synced. You can clip other things, like I will clip a lot of the facial features to the face color, just so like they don't go off the face. Like I'll clip the nose, all of the blushes. Yeah, just make sure you clip everything. Just make sure you clip it, or else, you know, you may have issues later on down the line. There we go. Have all those bad boys clipped. I'm also gonna clip the mouth back to the face, along with all of the lips. Except for the bottom, the lipstick. If your character does have lipstick, what we're going to want to do is copy the bottom lip. And we're going to clip the bottom lip lipstick onto the bottom lip. That may sound confusing as hell, but don't worry, it's not that complex. Make sure you save, because you don't want to lose all of your progress. And while that's saving, make sure you take a hydrate break. So, right now we're not going to worry about the rest of the body, because we could probably do clipping here and there too. For now, we're not going to worry about that. Alrighty, so now what you're going to want to do is select everything in the face. We're gonna do this bit by bit because otherwise things can delete themselves and you won't notice until later on. It's things I've done, so I like doing it like piece by piece, chunk by chunk, which is why I separated them into folders first. Now right here, we're going to create the mesh. It will basically tell software how to, I guess it's better if I explain it here. I can explain with the neck. So if I come over here, click auto and click standard, you see it gives it all of these dots. Basically, what it's doing is, if I come over here, don't worry about this tool right now, it basically tells the model how to, like, what each one of these dots moves a bit of the art, and that's basically how we get all of our rigging. I don't really know how to explain it very well. I don't really know the right terms. Just know everything has to have a mesh on it. You can either generate it or you can custom make it. Custom making it is much more consistent, but you have to come over here and like each one of these dots yourself, which is a big hassle personally. I just tend to use the auto generation. There's standard, which creates all this. Then there's little, which I personally don't use too often. And then there's also heavy. Don't overdo heavy because it has a lot of these dots, which can create an extreme amount of lag if half your model is like using these. Only do it from like part of your model that you have to control every single edge, like say the mouth, like the lips and stuff. You want to do that, and you also will probably actually want to do it on the face, just because the amount of things you have to do on the face is actually an extreme. So you want to do that for the face color and also the face lines. But say the face shadow. Sorry. So the face shadow can do standard. Same with like the neck, you know. And you want to just slowly generate it for everything. Literally everything on your model needs to have it. The issue is we just want to make sure things don't disappear, because things have disappeared on me in the past and I didn't realize it until it was far too late. And it caused a lot of problems. So just do it slowly, a little bit at a time, you know, just make sure nothing disappears. There we go. And now you should have gotten everything. I'd say make sure to save again so you don't have to redo all of that. And then what you want to do is click Control A and select, basically it selects everything on your model. Come over to here and we are going to create a texture atlas. So go ahead and click it. This should pop up. You can name it. I'm going to name mine Kelly's model because this is her model. You can pick the width and height of this. Make sure it's big enough to fit your model's images at 100% of their size. Since I draw humongous, I'm going to have to do 16,000, which means it's going to take forever for mine to export. The smaller it is, the faster, which I heavily recommend. The bigger it is, honestly, the bigger of a hassle, but I like my models so high in detail that they have to do on like 60. I'll click automatically layout. Make sure to do all model images so even things you have turned off still appear. Click OK. It's also good to have extra space on your atlas, like all this, so if the model you want like adds more emotes in the future, you'll have more space, along with like just tons of add-ons. What you now want to do is zoom in close and make sure things don't overlap. Like you see this light blue thing? Your texture is overlapping. So what you're going to want to do is you just want to scooch things out and make sure nothing is overlapping, because the automatic one speeds up the process of getting everything ready, but it also doesn't do 100% good job. So you want to just make sure you come over here and do this yourself, because if they overlap, it will create random black lines in your rig. Great, I think I'm good. So now, once you're done, you're going to click OK. And it is going to be exporting the model atlas. This may take a little bit, or it could be done in seconds. It matters how big your model is. Mine may take a bit, so I'm just gonna go ahead hydrate while it is doing that. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it there. The next tutorial will be hopefully coming out sometime soon. It will be talking about how to do the X and Y of the face, which which is left and right and up and down. If you liked this video, please click like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below if you have something specific you want me to talk about, like how to make like reactive ears like mine. But yeah, let me know. I hopefully will see you in the next video. Bye bye.